My 2-year-long marriage with my wife, female 28, and I, male 30, used to be a loving one, but now I don't know if she truly meant it after what happened. For context, my wife has a best friend she's known for many years now. About a year ago, her friend found a boyfriend and we ended up all getting along and going out to eat together a few times a week, or to hang out at each other's place. When we would hang out, my wife and her friend's boyfriend would seem to bond in a way the rest of us didn't. They would share inside jokes and playfully touch each other, which went unnoticed by us the first few times, but then we started to notice. Well, just last month, my wife's friend and her boyfriend broke up, which I only found out through my wife, who never told me the exact reason for the breakup. Not long after, I started noticing mysterious behavior from my wife. She would tell me things like she was working late and that's why she wouldn't be home for dinner. The more time went on, the more it seemed that she wasn't being totally honest with me, so I knew I had to figure out what was going on. One morning, when I woke up first and she was still sleeping, I decided to unlock my wife's phone, which was easy because I knew her password was her birthday and shared her location with me, so I could now see if where she actually was matched where she said she would be. Then yesterday night, my wife told me again that she'd be working late, so that was my chance to check where she was. When I saw that my wife's location was at a house nearby, I knew it had to be her friend's ex-new place after I was on Instagram earlier and saw a post of his on my feed that showed moving boxes in an empty living room with just a couch in the background. I also saw that he'd been liking every single post of my wife's, leaving flirty comments even when he was still with his girlfriend. I decided to head over to the house to see what was really going on. When I got there and knocked on the door, my wife's friend's ex answered. Before he could say anything, I pushed past his shoulder and saw my wife sitting on the same exact couch I saw on Instagram wearing casual clothes, not the ones she wore for work. I stormed off, and after a few hours, when my wife came back home, I confronted her. I said I saw all I needed to see. My wife fought back and called me a stalker and said she'd just been comforting her friend's ex since the breakup because they were friends too. I just laughed in her face and said that was bullshit and that she's a married woman. She had no business counseling single men in their homes when nobody else was around. My wife told me that she knew I'd overreact and turned on the waterworks. I said our marriage was over and that I wanted a divorce. I told her to sleep on the couch that night and shut myself in our bedroom. I'm still there as of now. My wife banged on the door a few times and wanted to talk, but I don't want to. I don't want to go out, ever. I just want everything to end. I'm not sure what'll happen next, but any feedback would be appreciated. Update. I met with an attorney last week and got the ball rolling. My soon-to-be ex still insists that I'm blowing the whole thing out of proportion and that it shouldn't be a crime to hang out with a guy friend. She conveniently overlooks how she had lied to my face about working late and keeps saying that I'm still in the wrong for going over to his house. How none of this would have happened if I'd just trusted her. It's been about 2 weeks since I told her to go stay anywhere else but with me because I was done putting up with her bullshit. After dragging her feet for a few days, she finally left about 10 days ago. So at least it's peaceful in the house now. Lonely, but peaceful. I still keep in touch with my wife's now ex-friend, who told me that she was given the same bullshit story I was. She has completely cut contact with her, and we've both been supporting each other during these tough times. I'm hoping to move on from all this as soon as possible. I really believed my soon-to-be ex was the one, but I guess life has other plans. Thank you to everyone who replied and shared their thoughts. Story 2. 1 year since everything changed. I recently crossed over the anniversary of when I found out about my ex-wife's cheating. When I confronted her. Have to admit the feelings flooded back a lot stronger than I had anticipated. But something else happened too. It's faded. This pain, it's temporary. And I think that's something that took this long for me to truly realize. I do still miss them, at least the person that I knew anyway. I have slight bouts of anxiety when I go places we used to go. Will I run into her? What would I say? Common questions I ask myself from time to time. But again, it's only temporary. It's not something that prevents me from living my life. It can't be. I can't allow it to be. Can't allow this person to maintain control. I didn't get closure. Something I'm sure a lot of people here can relate to. But I'm not all that interested in closure with my ex-wife. She left and didn't come back. Not much more to it than that. The thing that hurt me the most was all the family and friends that just turned their backs on me instantly. Friends that I didn't expect to just take a side and disappear. Family that I wish I had a chance to properly say goodbye to. But we treated every niece and nephew like they were ours, and that was enough. What I would give to give my dad a hug one more time, or wrestle with my nephews in the yard again, push my niece on the swing one more time, share a drink with my brothers. I know this all sounds like ramblings of a person who isn't over their separation, but hang with me for a moment. I'm just in my feelings right now because of the anniversary. I've spent the last year surrounding myself with as many friends and family as I can, as much positivity as I can. As opportunities have come back to go out, I've taken them, taken on new hobbies, things I could never do before because my ex-wife didn't approve. Embraced who I really am and learned to be happy with myself again. Again, I know this all reads like one big rambling rant, and I apologize for that. If there's one thing anyone who actually does read this takes away from it, I guess it should be this. The pain you're feeling, the same pain everyone here has felt, truly is temporary, and things will get better. Thanks for reading. Hope y'all continue to stay strong and have a good weekend. Edit. I did not grow up with a father, and much of my immediate family has passed away. So when we married, I suddenly had all this family again. Support that I had gone so long without was suddenly there. I went into this with forever in mind, so it never occurred to me that I'd have to deal with the loss of a family. Yep, have backups of everything, but it was purely as a means of protecting myself from any kind of legal battle that may have come from all this. Thankfully, nothing happened. I'm not super interested in any kind of revenge, and I don't need vindication. What she did hurts. What her family and friends did was cowardly and also hurts. But salting the earth isn't going to bring me any kind of real happiness. My name is clear to people that matter, the ones that stayed by my side. It's completely normal to miss the people in the life you had, especially when you lose not just a partner, but an entire family that you'd grown close to. It's heartbreaking to think about the relationships that were lost because of someone else's choice. But your focus on moving forward rather seeking revenge is admirable. You're right, holding on to bitterness or seeking revenge doesn't lead to real happiness. As for closure, it's something that often comes from within rather than from the person who hurt us. It sounds like you've started to find that closure by building a new life for yourself, one where you can prioritize your own happiness and well-being. The fact that you recognize this pain as temporary is powerful. Healing takes time, but you've already come so far. You're doing great, and the best part is that you've proven to yourself that you can survive and thrive even after the worst heartbreak. Story 3. End of my rope. We're still living together as we sort out this mess. She's upstairs, I'm downstairs. I keep saying I'm willing to try to work this out. I put the ball in her court. Told her I'm not going to kiss her ass, but she needs to make a choice. She was all apologies when I found out her emotional affair had turned physical since we separated on July 1st. Now she blames everyone else. Me for not being good enough to her. Her friend who told me that she had started having sex with the guy. None of it's her fault. This morning, she left with her lunch bag and her purse. She never takes her purse to work. I'm taking bets that she won't be home tonight. If that's the case, then it's time for her to start packing. Update. She came home today, around supper time. We talked a bit. She's trying to cast doubts on what I'm thinking, saying that I'm lying about what I was told by our mutual friend about the affair becoming physical. I know that sentence was confusing. I'm confused too. Saying she loved me so much and just wanted me to be more adventurous, more energetic. My depression was bad. I pushed her away. I feel like she's trying to build me into another reconciliation talk. The shitty part is my head knows it's a bad idea, but my heart still wants. Our relationship had issues before all this shit started with the other guy. Maybe it could have been fixed before all this happened. But even if everything else was perfect, that wedge and lack of trust would still be a huge obstacle to overcome. Give me strength, people. Update 2. So she dropped the DIY divorce package on the counter today. I reminded her we still have 10 months until we can divorce. Then she said there's ways to speed it up. Oh, what's that? I said. Then she said never mind. I know what the other 2 conditions are that could speed up the application. Infidelity or abuse? I know she won't admit to infidelity, so she called me emotionally abusive. That even my texts are mean. Honestly, I've been as polite and civil as possible the past week, even in text. She just reads way too much into shit. Even when I'm in a good mood, she tells me to stop faking it. So we talked. She kept going on about how she tried to fix the relationship. She went to one counseling appointment, then refused to do any more until my mood improved. She says she never intentionally did anything to hurt me. I saw your notes from when you called the domestic abuse outreach line, but I'm not tipping you off that I know that. Calling me a stalker and abusive. Then she said that if she takes the apartment that she's seeing on Monday, then it's over between us. I shrugged and said she should take it. There's too much tension between us now. I'm not sure what her end game is. Will the love bombing come next, or will she try to play the abuser card? Either way, I'm on guard. Felt a little crack in my armor today when she looked so sad with her big blue eyes. But I gotta remember, it's just part of her game. Just gotta stay focused. Lawyer on speed dial. Lots of support around me when I feel confused. I'm okay. Final update. For those of us out there wondering why our WS doesn't seem to show more remorse for their actions or keeps blaming you for their cheating, please go check out that sub and learn more about narcissism and how to protect yourself from it. She went and looked at a place today. She put in the deposit. Says she signed the lease, but still sucked me into a 1-hour-long conversation about our relationship on the pretext of what we were going to tell the kids. Kept trying to say we could still fix things. We just need to talk. That I had pulled away from her. That I wasn't concerned about her needs. Was I sure this was what I really wanted? Yes, this is what I want. So you're going to throw 13 years away? Yes. Yes, I am. I stood up for myself. I kept my cool. I never lost my temper. I didn't cry. I did later. I probably will some more, but I kept my resolve. Man, that felt amazing. She may be moving out this coming weekend. I'm sure she's not done trying to hoover me yet. I'm sure she still has some tricks up her sleeve. It sounds like you've been through the ringer with all this, but man, I have to say, the way you handled yourself in that final update, that's some serious strength right there. You're seeing through the manipulation, and you're standing firm in what you know's best for you. That takes a lot of courage, especially when you've invested so many years into the relationship. It's tough when your heart wants to believe the best in someone, but your head knows better. You're right to stay focused and protect yourself. The fact that she's still trying to twist things and pull you back in just proves that you need to keep your guard up. But you got a solid handle on the situation, and you're taking the steps you need to take to move forward. Keep leaning on your support system and your lawyer, and don't let those cracks in the armor get too deep. You deserve so much more than what she's given you. Stay strong.